Hello everyone. This is our second class regarding structures. So in today's class I will discuss two simple programs. So okay, let's just start. Our first program is write a program that will take information of three students. So in our first class I showed you how we can take information of one student. So this is almost the similar way. Here we will take information, that means ID, name and marks of three students. You already know how to take in information for one student. Just the difference is in this program we will take the information for three students. So there's a test output here. Uh, so if you run the program, you will get this output. For example, enter in student information. Then you have to enter for the name of the first student. Like here, I have given Konka and enter her ID 111, enter her marks 98. Then you have to enter the information for the second student. Enter name, Titli, then ID, her marks. And you have to then enter the information for the third student, name Anis, ID 113, mark 17. So here we are taking name, ID and marks for three different students. So after taking the information, we will show it. Just the message displaying student information, then name Konka, ID, this, marks this, and name Titli, name Anis. So we will take the information for three students, then we will show it. This is our program. Okay, let's start. How can we solve it? This is the solution part. This is so so I told you that in your next class, in the second class, in this class, you will actually get the benefit of a structure. Like you will now feel it actually. Why should we use a structure here, and how it's reducing our codes and works in our programming. So here the simple things, here we have declared a structure. The name of the structure is student info. You know, you have to declare a structure in this way. A struct keyword, then the name of the structure, student info. Then a student might have three properties. It has three properties: name, ID and marks. That's why we have three variables. First one is string name, then ID, then marks. This is a similar way that we did in our last class. Then in the main function, okay, I told you there are two ways to we have to follow two steps to implement a structure. First of all, we have to define the structure. So here we have defined or declared the structure. Okay. Here we have defined the structure. Now for using this structure, we have to create a structure variable. So that's how we can create a structure variable in the main function. Struct student info student. That means a student is the variable for student info. See here, student variable, it's an array. It's an array. Student 3. That means ultimately it will have three variables: student 0, student 1, student 2. You know that in the question problem statement it is said that you have to take information for three students. That's why I have declared here student 3. That means the first one is student 0, student 1, student 2, in this way. So student 3 means you already know this is an array. That means we have three students. You will have data for three students. First one will be student 0. Second one will be student 1, student 1, and then will be student 2. Okay. Okay, so now there's a message enter student information. See, I am running a loop. I is equal 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. That means first of all it's 0, then it will go for 1, then 2. So enter name, it will give an so scanf percentages. student I dot name. See, in our previous example, we took the string information, we took string input by using the gets function, but here we are using a scanf. So actually string is a bit complex thing in C programming. So if you use here gets, there will be problem to take input. You can try it, and if you use a scanf, you can take 3 or 4 inputs by using a scanf. Here you can take 3 inputs, but there is also another problem. That means in your name you should just have one word. Like if your name is David, it's fine, but after David, if you take David space Melan, then actually it will not work. So if we discuss about string in our next any of our next classes, I will discuss how to resolve these issues actually. So here we will take a string input by using a scanf. Percentage s means it will take a string for the it will take a string input. So our I is now 0. First of all, it will take name for student I dot name. So that means first of all, it will take input for student 0 dot name. Student 0 dot name. So first input will be student 0 dot name. So we know that here in our structure, we have 3 data member: name, ID, and marks. For using this, we have to actually use the structure variable. A structure variable student. Actually, here we have student 0, student 1, student 2. So we have to use it in this way. Student I dot name. If I is 0, so it will take information for student 0 dot name. That means it will take information for the first student. It will take name for the name input for the first student. So in the similar way, go for the next one. Enter ID. Scan a percentage d. That means it will take an integer input. Ampersand student I dot id. That means it will take information for student I, means I is now 0. So it will take information for student 0 dot id. It will take information for student 0 dot id. So it will take id for student 0. Then marks, it will take a marks scan a percentage of ampersand student I dot marks. That means it will take information for student 0 dot marks. So so when I is 0, it has taken input for the student 0. That means student 0 dot name, student 0 dot id, student 0 dot marks. Then when again we will go to the loop. I was 0, now I will be 1. So when I is 1, the same way it will take input. It will take name for student 1 dot name. Then so when I is 1, then it will take input for student 1 dot name. Okay, it will take input for student 1 dot name, then go for the ID, then it will take input for student 1 dot ID, then go for the marks, it will take input for student 1 dot marks. Then again it will go to the loop, then I will be 2. So it will take input for student 2 dot name, student 2 dot ID, and student 2 dot marks. That's how it will take input for 3 students: student 0, student 1, and student 2. Now you will just show the information, displaying student information. Again, we will run the loop I is equal 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Then it will just print that the name student I dot name, student I dot ID, student I dot marks. That means when I is 0, it will show the information student 0 dot name, student 0 dot ID, student 0 dot marks. Whenever I is 1, it will show the information for student 1 dot name, student 1 dot ID, 1 dot marks. So in the similar way, it will show show the information for 3 students. So this was almost like our previous classes example. Here we are just working with multiple students. So if I ask you take input for 10 students, the same way, just instead of student 3, you have to declare student 10. That means it will take information for 10 students. So that's how we can solve it. First of all, we have to declare a structure. Then in the main function, we have to declare a structure variable. Here student 3 means it's an array. Here we will take 3 students input. If I ask you take input for 50 students, you have to use student 50. Then run the loop and take the input. Student I dot name. Here it is said that you have to take 3 members input: name, ID, and marks. So student I dot name, student ID, student ID marks. So here for string we are using a scanf for taking this. There are some limitations of a scanf, and also here you will get some issues in the gets. So but we are using scanf, somehow you'll run the program, that's why. But there's some limitation of scanf. I have already mentioned this one. Okay, then after taking the input, we will just show the information, displaying student information, run the loop, and just show the information. So this was our first program. So in the second one, okay, in the second one, this is very simple program. Here, so okay, if I'm going to run this one for you. How it's actually working, I'm going to run this one for you. Okay, this is our program. So if I run this one, it will take input for 3 students, enter student information, enter name. For example, if I give Konka's ID 111, Konka's mark 98, then another student's name. So I have taken information for the first student. Now I will take information for the second student. So I'm giving her name like Titli. The ID of Titli is 112. Titli's marks is like 88 point anything it might be. Then enter. So I have taken 2 students information. Now I will take the information for the third student, like Anis. The ID is like 75. Sorry, ID is like 113, and his marks is 75. So I have taken input. I have taken name, ID, and marks for 3 students. Now just showing the information. Displaying student information, it's just showing it. See, if it is, so here the benefit of a structure, using a structure, is if you want to do it without using a structure, what should you do? What will you do? You will need actually three names, 3 ID, 3 marks for 3 students. So it will be more complex. So here just we have declared a form of the structure, we have declared it, and we are using the same name, ID, and marks repeatedly. Student I dot name, student I dot ID, student I dot marks. So here ultimately we don't need 3 names, 3 IDs, and 3 marks for 3 different students. We have just created a form, and we are just continuously, repeatedly, we are using this one. So it's a great benefit of a structure. A structure will actually make your complex program, will represent your complex program in a more meaningful and structured way. This will make your program more structured. So that's how it will reduce your work and reduce your codes also. Okay. Now the second one, this is very simple. Here I will show you how we can copy one structure into another structure. That means a structure will be able to copy the properties of another structure. So what does it mean and how it will work? So here we have a structure here, same structure, student info, and it has 3 members, name, ID, and marks, same way. See here, there is another thing I didn't show it to you. You can assign the value of a structure variables here in this way. Like we declared something like integer. Whenever we declare a variable like a is equal to 5, so whenever we declare a variable, we also can assign it some value. So in the similar way, we can also assign some value in the structure variable in the same line. Whenever you will define this one or declare this one, we will also assign some values for this variable. We can. So this is a new thing here. So here we have a structured student info, and we will create 3 variables for this. First one is struct student info student 1. The first variable is student 1. See, whenever I have declared student 1, I have also given it some value. Conca, 11, 98. So student, this structure has 3 members. First one is name, second one is ID, last one is marks. So here I have given its 3 values, conca 1198. So first one is string. See, it will be the name. Second one is 111. It will be the ID. It's a third one will be marks. So it will just work gradually here. First one is name in the structure, second one is ID, last one is marks. So here we have declared it also in this way. So here we are not taking input from the user, we have already given the values there. And also in the similar way, we will take the information for the next student, student 2, Titli 11275. That means the name of the second student is Titli, her ID is 112, her marks is 75. So then I have declared another structure variable, struct student info student 3. So I didn't give any value to it, but here I have assigned something. A student 3 is equal to student 2. So what it will do actually? It will ultimately copy all of the properties of student 2 into student 3. That means now student 3 variable also have then a name, ID and marks, and actually it will have the same name, ID and marks of student 2. The name of the student, the values of the student 2 are Titli 11275. So student 3 will also have name Titli, ID 112 and marks 75. That's how you can copy properties of one structure variable into another variable. That means student 3 now will have the same values like student 2. So if you print, so here we are printing the value of student 3 name, student 3 ID, student 3 marks. So you will get that ultimately it's printing Titli 11275, which those are the values for student 2. Now student 3 are also having the same values. That's how you can copy a structure variable into another structure variable. Okay, this was very simple program, and actually that's all for today. I will try to give you some homework later. Okay, thank you everyone.